the title of the book is The Dragon Flexibility, the Fundamental of Chinese Culture. I was particularly interested in the book because at a certain point, in order to try to understand the Chinese culture, he made a parallel with a mathematical concept, which is the concept of fractals. Since I work on fractals in my mathematical activity, I try to understand what is the link between fractals and Chinese culture. Let's try to write what he said. And the starting point was the legend, which is very known in China, I suppose, of Pangao as the Chinese story of the birth of the world. So let's start reading the book about the story of Pangao. Just a few lines, and then I will show you how it shifts to fractals. Pangao loses balance and crashes the ground under the force of the impact. His left eye is thrown into the sky, where it becomes the sun. His right eye is thrown into the sky, becomes the moon. His bones are scattered across the earth, where they became the mountains, and his arteries became the rivers. His wheat the rain, his breath the winds, and his lies. This is nice. His lies, the lies are the bug, these terrible bugs. To truly understand the meaning of this myth, held for the Chinese mind, one must go beyond the story itself and represent the scene repeated countless times throughout the century, during which it was told. A similar cosmogony, far removed from the various European narrative, resonates today surprisingly well enough that mathematicians call them fractal organizations. Here we come. Just a few words about this, then we continue with the lectures. Still in the book. The type of organization was proposed by the American scientist Benoit Mandelbrot around 1974. He got the intuition that the particularity of this type of organizations lies in the fact that each time the overall structure is fractionate, so is broken, it reappears in the fraction part, hence the name fractal structures. For an organization that remains invariant regardless the change of scale. Mandelbrot's discovery now appears as one of the keys to the internal organization of living system. Is the structure of trees, in which each leaf is built on a network of veins identical to that of the tree itself. It is the structure of blood vessels, where each capillary replicates the arrangement of veins and arteries. And now this interesting point. Furthermore, fractal organizations is also at the basis of how the Chinese represent the universe. This was striking me, this sentence. Only one needs to look at Taoism diagram, which depicts the entire universe with its human body, with perfect indifference to scale. For example, in the location of the Earth, one can see a young child holding one of the stars of the Big Dipper in his hand. Little known in the West, this indifference to scale connects the function of the Earth to those of the universe and allows the Chinese soul to feel a landscape as a body. As the French-Chinese writer François Cheng said, the West has studied the human body. The Chinese, for their part, draw, feel the rocks, the green landscape, the valleys, and the waterways like so many parts of a body. Manifestations of these fractal intuitions of the organization of the world are found in many Chinese traditions. Let's give three examples. One of the most familiar is the concept of Penjing, which we know better by the Japanese name bonsai. Bonsai came from the Japanese pronunciation of two Chinese characters, pen-zai, the first of which simply means pot, and the second is in the literal sense to cut, trim, prune, and in the figurative sense to regulate, decide, give form. The use of these pairs became rare in Chinese, because to the art of miniature trees, fractal perceptions has added the idea of representing a real micro landscape in miniature with mountains, shaped rocks, lakes, and even small characters. This is why this expression, Penjing, literally landscape in pot, was preferred. Second example, another striking example of the fractal structure familiar to the Chinese mind is evident in the layout of Beijing, such as when the third Ming Emperor, Zhongli, decided at the beginning of the 15th century to transfer the seat of power from Nanking, moving from south to north, starting outside the capital. One finds this distribution repeated rhythmically along the main axis, civilians in the east, military in the west, as seen on this map of Beijing during the Ming Dynasty, and this is in the book. Last example about the structure of a very famous book in China, the Book of Changes, Yi Jing, I don't know if I pronounce correctly, distributing the composition of a text into 64 characters of 64 words. Each is indeed reproducing at the level of each component the overall structure of the world. This should not be seen as a vain form of numerical esotericism, rather a pragmatical application of the fact that fractal organization, being what best accounts for the functioning of complex systems, the I Ching, which is intended as a manual to aid decision-making on daily life, must conform to it. Okay, thank you very much.